At the edge of a bright and beautiful forest, there lived an old man named Eli. Eli had white hair, a kind wrinkled face, and hands that had worked hard for many, many years. The animals of the forest knew Eli well. He had lived beside their forest his whole life. He left water out for the deer in the dry season. He put food on his doorstep for the birds each morning. And every evening he sat on his small wooden chair outside his door and watched the forest with quiet, gentle eyes. Eli was not a brave man. He was simply a kind one. Eli lived alone in a small stone house with a wooden door and 2 windows that looked out into the forest. He had no family nearby, but he was never truly lonely. The birds came to his doorstep every morning. The deer came to drink from his water trough at dawn. A family of rabbits had made their burrow just beside his garden wall. And sometimes in the evenings, a wise old owl would land on the branch above his chair and sit with him in the quiet. Eli would talk to the animals sometimes, not expecting them to understand, just because speaking to living things felt better than silence. And the animals would stay near him longer than animals usually stayed near people, as if they knew something about Eli that Eli himself had forgotten. One morning, Eli was filling the water trough when he heard something unusual, a sound from deep inside the forest. Not birdsong, not the rustling of deer, something low and heavy and pained. A sound that stopped and started, that came in waves. Eli stood very still and listened. The birds had gone quiet. The rabbits had disappeared into their burrow. Even the forest itself seemed to be holding its breath. Eli knew that sound. He had heard it once before, when he was a young man. It was the sound of a large animal in pain, and it was coming from just beyond the first line of trees. Eli walked slowly to the edge of the forest, and there, between 2 large roots of an old oak tree, lay a lion. A young lion, with a thick golden yellow mane and proud golden eyes, now filled with pain. One enormous front paw, caught and held by a large sharp thorn buried deep in it. The lion looked up at Eli, and Eli looked at the lion. Neither of them moved. Eli's heart was beating very fast. He was afraid. He would not pretend otherwise, even to himself. This was a lion, large and powerful, even in pain. Every sensible part of Eli told him to go back inside, lock his door, leave the lion to find its own way. But there was another part of Eli, a quieter part, that looked at the lion's tired, pain-filled golden eyes, and could not walk away. Eli stood at the edge of the forest for a long time, looking at the lion looking back at him. Then Eli did something that surprised even himself. He sat down on the ground, right there at the edge of the forest. He sat down slowly because his old knees hurt, and he sat cross-legged in the leaves and just sat. The lion watched him. Eli did not approach, did not reach out, did not try to help yet. He just sat and breathed, and let the lion look at him. Minutes passed. The forest was completely quiet, and slowly, very slowly, the lion lowered his great, golden-maned head back to the ground, not closing his eyes, still watching Eli, but lowering his head. A tiny signal. Eli had spent enough time with animals to know what it meant. I see you. I am still afraid, but I see you. Eli moved slowly, every movement small and deliberate and gentle. He shifted forward on the ground, a little stopped, waited. The lion watched him, but did not move. Shifted forward again, stopped, waited. It took a very long time, but Eli was in no hurry. His old hands were trembling slightly, not from weakness, from the honest fear of someone who is doing something brave. When Eli finally reached the lion's paw, he paused. He looked at the thorn, large and deep and painful. He looked at the lion's golden eyes, still watching him, still afraid, still allowing him to be there. Eli placed his old trembling hands around the thorn, and carefully, slowly, gently, he pulled it free. The lion made one sharp sound, then was still, then slowly licked its paw, and looked at Eli, and Eli looked back, both of them breathing. Eli sat beside the lion for a while after, not touching, just sitting, the way you sit with someone after something difficult has passed, the lion's breathing slowly becoming easier. Its great golden-maned head resting on the forest floor, its proud golden eyes watching Eli with something that had not been there before. Eli talked quietly the way he always talked to animals. He said, "I was afraid too, you know. I want you to know that. Being brave does not mean not being afraid. It just means doing the right thing anyway." The lion did not understand the words, but it stayed. And when Eli finally stood up slowly on his old aching knees and walked back toward his stone house, the lion watched him all the way, until Eli disappeared through his wooden door. The next morning Eli came to his doorstep, as he always did, and there, just at the edge of the forest, sat the lion. Watching him, Eli stopped, looked at the lion looked back. Then Eli went inside and came back with a piece of meat and set it at the edge of his garden. The lion waited a long time, then walked forward slowly, and ate, and sat back down at the edge of the forest. This happened the next morning, and the next, and the next. The deer still came to the water trough, the birds still came to the doorstep, the rabbits still played by the garden wall, and the young lion with the golden mane sat at the edge of the forest each morning, not close, not friendly the way a dog is friendly, but there, present, watching over the old man who had not walked away. The other animals of the forest had watched everything, and something shifted in the forest after that day, not dramatically, not with fanfare, but the animals who had seen Eli sit down in the leaves and move slowly toward a lion in pain, they understood something about this old man that words could not have told them. That courage does not always look like strength. It does not always roar, or run, or fight. Sometimes courage looks like an old man sitting down on the cold forest floor, moving slowly toward the thing he fears, with trembling hands, and a kind heart, and the simple refusal to walk away from something that needs help. And perhaps that is why many years later, when Rex became the most powerful lion in the forest, he never forgot what kindness felt like, because someone had shown it to him first. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing the right thing even when you are afraid.